Hello, sunshine. Welcome to Be Visible with Veronica, the podcast where bold conversations and soul-aligned strategy help you awaken your most powerful self. I'm your host, Veronica Bahn. Get ready to stop dimming your light, own your magic, and finally be so visible you can't be ignored. Let's get visible. Hello and welcome back to Be Visible with Veronica. I'm your host today with an amazing guest, Tish Times. But before we get into that episode, I want to make sure you go back and take a listen to Catherine Pierce last week. Not only did we talk about what it was like to be in business with your husband, but her two incredible companies that she is running, Network Live and the Empower and Elevate conference twice a year. But today, if you want to know about moving your business forward, having a family while you make the choice to step out of corporate into entrepreneurship and how you can figure out what your zone of genius looks like, that is the conversation we're having today with Tish Times. Tish, welcome.
Thank you. I'm so glad to be here.
We've been talking about getting this going for quite some time.
We have.
And even though we both have a crazy, hectic week, here we are.
We made it happen.
We made it happen. All the delays didn't stop us from getting into the studio today.
For sure.
We have known each other digitally for quite some time.
Correct. Yes.
But hadn't really met in person until we were part of a incredible anthology called The Six Figure Chick Volume 2 Phoenix.
Yes.
And this is when we first came together. Mm-hmm. And I loved meeting you in person at this event. We looked at each other like long lost friends.
I know. I literally was like, I've been hearing about you for at least the last couple of years, if not longer. And I was like, this Veronica Bahn, who is she? And then we had emailed. It was like, I can't wait to meet you. And it was like, long lost friends.
It felt like it, didn't it?
Definitely.
And then we went to lunch and it was like
Perfect.
We picked up in a conversation that we must have left off, I don't know, lifetimes ago or something. It's so great to have you in studio today.
Oh, I'm so glad to be here. Really.
Now, we also have something in common with both of our boys getting married.
Yes.
Recently.
Yes.
And trying to, or learning how to navigate through being mothers of the groom.
Yeah.
I know, right? It's really different.
Yeah, it is. And I didn't know what to do. I was kind of like, do I help? What do I need to do?
I was
Somebody
with you.
give me some instructions.
My poor daughter-in-law was probably like, can we just put your mom on hiatus until the wedding? But I love that we have that in common as well.
Yes.
But more importantly, what we do with women in our businesses is create visibility in lots of different ways.
Yes.
You teach sales strategy, packaging, things that aren't super performative, but really encompassing for other women entrepreneurs.
Right.
And I teach that visibility space on how to keep showing up, not just on your digital footprint, but then we also guide women into really owning and empowering them in that space they want to be in and play in.
Yeah, for sure. I think the favorite part for me of being able to do that is just helping women to find their voice and to not have to perform or pretend, but to be fully themselves. It's like nothing else.
And I love that you have a podcast.
Yes.
That is also called?
It's called the Sold Out Sales Podcast, which you've been on. So make sure you go and listen to that episode with Veronica as well. But I love it. Love it.
So you have had that podcast for how long?
This will be my third year. We're in season 3. Yes.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And I'm coming up on the close. In fact, this will be episode 43, I believe. And we're almost a year, almost 52 episodes.
I know. We're in the minority in that. Most podcasts only last 11 episodes.
No way.
No, it's a very small number. So it's amazing when someone makes it to, 20 episodes or a full year. It's
And 3 for you.
Yeah.
So congratulations.
Thank you.
I actually was looking at some statistics recently, and I kept saying we're in 12 countries. We're in 26 countries.
Oh, my God. That's amazing.
Huge. We're at over 1,200 downloads.
Yes.
And 38,000 views on YouTube. So Be Visible with Veronica has really launched, and I'm so proud of that.
That is fantastic. Reaching lots of people.
The best part for me, and maybe for you too, is when we get either client wins and they share how something we shared with them amplified their resources, grew their prosperity, helped them feel better in what their offerings are.
Yes.
Closing sales,
Yes.
which means finding the right clients.
Yes.
But then when they reach us from other countries,
It's amazing.
I had somebody reach out to me in the Philippines recently and said, I want to be an entrepreneur and I'm not sure how to do it, but I love listening to your podcast because we don't have those kinds of communities here in my country.
Wow. Interesting.
And we take some things for granted, don't we?
We absolutely do. I'm always floored when someone says, I've been binging your podcast. And I'm just like, you've been binging my podcast? But even more so when a client comes back and says, because of what you taught me, because of what I implemented, as a result of our working together, my income has doubled or my income has tripled, or now I'm able to do these amazing things. It is phenomenal when we could do it locally, but across the nation and across the world is even more impactful.
And I love that we can share some of our most valuable tips and resources with others without worrying about what's in it for me.
Oh, right.
It's all about what's in it for the listener.
Yeah.
Or what's in it for the client.
I firmly believe that no one can take from me what's fully mine. So some people are afraid to share because they're almost like, if I give this away, they're going to go do something with them. Like, let them. Absolutely. That's what it's there for. And I always feel like I am a well, right? A well of information that I can always pour out because I'm always being filled up again. And so I'm never afraid to, I probably give away way more than the average coach, right? In the sense of just when I'm sharing, it just comes out, but it always comes back to me in some way, shape, or form. So, yeah.
And don't they say that when somebody borrows your idea, that copying is the best form of flattery?
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
share away,
Yeah.
copy all you want.
Absolutely.
What we're sharing is not unique to this space.
Exactly.
It's just unique from our voices,
It
and our
is.
perspective, and our stories.
It is, yeah.
So speaking of story,
Yeah.
how did you get to be the sales strategist?
Well, I tell you what, it wasn't on purpose. It was not on purpose. I was actually really very comfortable and very happy working in my corporate job. I was in staffing. And I was in my little cubicle putting people to work, very happy to do that. And I kept getting leaders coming and tapping me on the shoulder and saying, hey, we'd love to have you in the sales department. I'm like, absolutely not. No way. Not interested. Don't want to do it. I love my 2 weeks, every 2 weeks getting my paycheck. I don't want to have to work for commission. I was very adverse to being in sales. And I had this preconceived notion like many other people. And what ended up happening is they literally tricked me into the job. What they did was they created a role for me. They called it a performance manager. And it was supposed to be the liaison between the operations department and the sales department. But it required me to go out with the sales team
In
and
the field.
Yeah, and meet other clients and kind of learn what they do. Well, of course, because I love meeting people and I love making connections, little by little, they're like, well, I can't go out today, Tish, but you already know them. Why don't you go ahead and take that meeting? And, it would be closing sales by accident, in all honesty.
Great.
And it just was the way that I got into sales. And for me, it was the way it should have been, because I got a chance to get rid of that notion, that thought process that sales is icky and weird and it has to be salesy and you're trying to take advantage of someone. I just loved building relationships and making connections and helping people get what they needed. And it just resulted in people buying from me. And so over time, eventually I left that industry. I started my own staffing company. I ran my own staffing company for about 8 years. And when I closed that staffing company, I started a coaching business. And it was career coaching because it made sense coming out of the staffing world to do career coaching. But I did it very differently than the average, career coach. I was creating events, and they were basically job fairs on steroids.
Wow.
So I was putting hiring managers and job seekers in the same room together and teaching them how to network and teaching them how to connect.
All these things that were very natural.
That were
to
very
you.
natural, exactly.
They're more like elevated communication skills.
Absolutely. But what started to happen is more and more entrepreneurs started reaching out to me and saying, how are you doing this? How did you grow this so quickly? What's going? Because they were selling out basically. And people started saying, I want to hire you to be my sales coach. And I was like, that's not what I do. And they were like, yeah, that's
Yeah,
what you do. So that's technically how I started this company. And that's been 16 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah, it
16. I thought it was 13 or 14.
No, it just turned 16 this year, actually.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So yeah, I didn't aspire to be a sales expert or a sales coach, but it's what comes naturally to me. And again, I think that the magic for me is teaching people how to reframe. Because if they think that it's sales, then they're going to run from it. But if they think that it's connecting and they realize it's building relationships and helping people, being a solution provider, it's a shift in their mindset. And you could do that all day because you're already doing it.
Because you're already doing it.
Yeah.
So you just help them build confidence in what they're already loving.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I love that for you. Part of my journey took me into advertising, and I wanted to be in the creative. I was really good at writing. I loved copywriting. I could identify the client journey.
Yeah.
I didn't know that that's what that was called at the time.
Right.
But every time I went to interview, they wanted to put me in sales. And Tish, I did not want to do sales. And I ended up doing sales and onboarding and working with the Phoenix Suns and Bank of America and building that space. But when I found myself on an entrepreneurial journey similar to what you shared, people would ask me, well, how did you build online? How did you build a digital presence?
Yeah.
How did you sell 1,000 tubes of toothpaste on Facebook on one post?
Yeah.
Like, what was that? How did you do that? And when I realized what was naturally a gift for me, I don't want to say easy, but something that came easy to me in building that communication style online is not easy for others.
It isn't.
And coming up with the idea, that's an easy, we can come up with ideas.
Yeah.
We have, entrepreneurs are not short on creative ideas.
Good Lord, no.
They're short on perspective and focus.
Yes, and integrating and executing.
And we can add all those other things on there, of course. But what I found is they would then come to me and say, can you teach me how to do that? And the next thing I know, I'm creating boot camps.
Yes.
And then can you show me how to do that? And I'm creating another boot camp. And people are flooding in. And then the next thing I know, clients are saying, can I just hire you to do it for me?
Yeah.
Which is what you just shared.
Exactly.
And that's how, now my company names have gone through a couple different iterations. I was Side Hustle Expert, and I love that was SHE.
Yes.
I always knew I wanted to work with women. And then it was Transform My Social Media, which I did not like at first. I thought it was a big mouthful. And didn't love it. But then I got to be known as the social media expert.
Yeah.
Didn't really want to be known as a social media, but I was okay with that for a little while. And then shifted a year ago into this Veronica Bahn consultancy space because it felt very much like the next iteration of what I do. And like your name, everybody knows you a certain way.
Yes.
People knew me a certain way, and how did we shift that? But as I'm shifting, I'm also showing my clients how to make a pivot, shift in the space. And I love that you do that because you're just helping your clients be more of what they already are.
Absolutely. And tap in to their zone of genius. And many times people don't realize what's on the inside of them. They're looking outside for everything. And when we can help them to realize that what they have, what they need is already what they have on the inside of them, it's so powerful. I love watching, I was telling a group of my clients yesterday, the evolution of them is just a beautiful thing for me. To watch them go from unsure, unclear, timid, sometimes no confidence, not knowing how to really make an ask, to like killing it, and their income is through the roof,
and they're unshakable.
They're unshakable. They're standing in their power. We were just saying, I was looking at one of our clients yesterday. We were on a Zoom call together, and I said, guys, look at her. What's different about her from last January when we started working together? And everyone was able to just confirm what I was seeing. It's like she shows up differently. So it's like, but it wasn't anything. Yeah, I may guide. I have, we have strategy, we have all the things, but in all honesty, it was already inside of her. She just didn't realize it yet.
You just helped her sharpen that iron that was already there.
Yeah.
Helped her go through the refiner's fire a little bit.
Exactly.
And I think that's why having a coach and a guide and a resource of a woman who's already gone where you are, and they've blazed that path, really helps us to look at them and say, I'm not jealous of where they are. Yeah. I'm excited for where they are because they're showing me where to go.
Yes. Exactly.
And even somebody in our own field, it's so much more exhilarating for me to be in a room full of women who are not in competition with each other, even if they're in similar industries, but they're in collaboration with each other.
Yes.
And I think it's so funny how Meta will continue to show me ads with women that are in my same field. And at first I would look at it and go,
Why are you doing that? Yeah.
I'm not going to hire them. Don't they know that this is what I do? And then I shifted it.
Yes.
And about 4 years ago, I thought, what if I followed all of these brilliant women that are doing things the way that I want to do them, or in a way that's how I want to do it? What if I looked to them as blazing a path and giving me a roadmap to follow?
Yeah.
And then when we can show that to our clients and we watch them excel and soar and be that unshakable version of themselves, and then I love it when they go shaking in their knees again.
Yes.
Because growth
It's
is happening.
time for the next level. Yes, I love it. I think it's so interesting. We're having that happen right now. So for many years, I've coached our people kind of as a cohort all together. And what has started to happen is we're attracting more people who are ready for the next level. Okay, so they're coming in like, you know what, we're already at 7 figures. We want to figure out how to get to 8 figures, or we want to expand or grow our team or step out of the sales, seat and let someone else do it. And then we have another group that's stepping up and saying, hey, not only do I want to do it at this level, but I want to do it faster. So we want to do this, we've just created this 90-day program.
Ooh,
that is
acceleration.
Yes,
let's talk about that.
Yeah, it's called the Revenue Room.
Ooh.
And it's designed only for women they have to be at a certain place in their business. They're mid 6 figures probably to, multiple millions. But they're at a place where they have all the goods. They just need a little leg up to get to that next level, which is why they don't need the year-long program. They need that 90-day, and it's what we call a private advisory.
Ooh.
So it's just, I'm one-to-one working on the nuts and bolts, the real nitty-gritty of what they need, so that on the end of that 90 days, they have an entire system in place. They're able to scale. It's a whole different thing, but it's just that, I think because of the way we've shifted how we're doing things, we're just attracting very different types of clients now, which is amazing, right? The way we show up is the way we tend to attract.
Isn't that the truth?
For sure.
As we're leveling up, the people around us level up. We give them permission. We
Exactly.
give them permission to level up too.
Yes.
And it's so fun to not do it alone.
Absolutely. Oh my God. And you know what's so interesting? I think many women go through that season where they feel like they have to figure it out by themselves.
Isn't that the truth? Well, they hear solopreneur.
Yes.
And we think it's
that's
an
what that
individual
means.
one.
Yes. It's like, no.
Can we just get that out of the encyclopedia, please?
What's interesting is I found for myself that I thrive in community. And I work better in community, even if it's not like being in the same office together, but understanding that there is someone walking that same walk who understands what you're going through, that you can bounce ideas off of and hold each other accountable, like deep accountability, not that kind of, so how did you do? Oh, I'm still working on it. No, I mean like deep accountability. It was like a big revelation for me because I realized, number one, I don't have to do it alone. Number two, I can create my tribe. I can create my community of people who are going where I'm going or have gone before me and really tap into that wisdom and also contribute, my own wisdom. It's been a game changer for me probably over the last 5 years.
Nice.
Being able to really realize that and not only do I not want to do it alone, I'm very clear that I'm not designed to do it alone.
I love that you said you had clarity around that. I also love that we've connected in a number of different networking groups.
Yes.
And you've decided to come back into one that you'd touched in a while ago, and that was eWomen Network.
Yes.
So for those of you who've been listening for a while, I'm the executive managing director of eWomen Network here in the Phoenix, Scottsdale area. And I love that you're coming in not just tipping your toe in, but you're all in. We're going, hey, if you're going to play, let's play big.
Let's do it. And I am a huge proponent. So again, those of you all who are like coming to eWomen in the last few years don't know. I mean, I remember when Brianna would be coming to events in El Paso, Texas, when we had a presence there. And she was like little, like running around the stage little.
Oh, wow.
And, Sandra had, very recently started, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 years in, I don't know. But, So I've been a part of eWomen for years. It was a huge part of the foundational growth of my company.
Wow.
It's not a like, oh, do I want to do eWomen? It was like I was waiting for the right leader in this city to step in, literally. And so again, when I started hearing Veronica, I was like, maybe it's time. And then after we discussed it, it was like, absolutely. I know eWomen. I've been to so many conferences, in Dallas. I am not concerned about, it's like I understand the gravity, the power that eWomen brings.
How the levity,
it is.
It's the leverage of the women in the room is amazing.
And what's really amazing to me is, I've always followed, I've always, kept up. And even when I see like some of the videos from Platinum, I know a large majority of those women, they've been around for many, many years. So when someone stays in an organization for that long, it speaks to the power of it. So I'm excited to come back and really kind of help support you there.
I love it. We have a Success Summit for those of you listening, March 24th, a Women's Success Summit here in the Valley. Sandra picks about 20 cities to travel to.
Yep.
And she's picked Phoenix. So I will put a link along with all of your show notes, but a link in our notes here for those who are listening who'd like to come to Phoenix and come to our Success Summit. We talked about the shift here a little bit, and that's what Sandra's going to be talking about during her summit tour. One of the things that I think is important to share on the piece of visibility too is we're networking and we're growing in groups. Isn't it fun to watch women hit that 7 figures?
Oh, God,
we talk about it as something to a moonshot, something to reach for, but probably never really get there. And then when you're working with clients who are literally on their way or closing those kinds of deals, it's pretty remarkable because their journey and the muscle they flexed and what they had to become to get there was vast.
So can we talk about that part?
Yes, please.
Because I think so many women, myself included in years past, thought that it was just like this journey or almost like this trek we had to like fight and crawl and, get ourselves there, only to realize, and this was again one of those huge enlightenment moments for me, when I realized I had to become the woman who could be a 6-figure, 7-figure, 8-figure earner. I had to make a shift internally to get there. And so if you get into my garage, as I pull into my garage right now, I have this vision board that sits literally on the wall. So when I pull up, it's the first thing that I see. And so it says things like $1 million mindset, $1 million habits, $1 million integrity. So it's like I began to understand that it wasn't a strategy so much as a identity that had to take place in order to actually be there. And so I think helping women to understand that it's more than business tools and tactics and things that we're doing. It's also, and probably much more, who we're becoming
along the way.
Absolutely.
Money just makes you more of what you already are.
Absolutely.
So I love it when I can help my clients raise their floor.
Yes.
Or raise their ceiling, and that becomes their new floor in their business. And I talk about that in my keynote because there was a moment where my husband said to me recently, it's about time you recognize that your old ceiling is now your new floor.
Wow.
And the thing that I also want to talk about, and I'd love you to give a tip to people listening, when you're ready to make that next leap, there's a place where you get really comfortable in business.
Yes.
And you're looking around and things need to shift and change, but you're comfortable. Mm-hmm. And you ask yourself, I know I found myself doing this, am I comfortable enough with the runway I have left for the amount of years I want to put in my business?
Wow. Or
what does that say to the legacy I'm leaving behind if I don't continue to grow and push and thrive, as long as it's not affecting my non-negotiables, which is time with my family, time with my grandbaby. Mm-hmm. And then how do I focus on those few things that will get me to where I want to go? I can love certain things, but are those really the places I should be putting my time and attention?
Yeah.
So I know in your sales strategy, you probably talk a little bit about that with the groups that you're working with and in your cohort is, where do you put your attention? Yeah. Where is your focus? What do you let go?
Yes.
to become your next level, because it's not always about just changing the price on a package.
No, not at all.
So
Absolutely.
let's talk about that.
Yeah, we've spent the last year, or probably the last few months actually, and we're focusing on this year. We've been talking about really 10xing our business. And so it was a hard realization for a lot of our clients to realize, okay, your 80%, what you're spending the majority of your time on, isn't taking you to the next place. It's the 20%. And so we did an exercise, and it's like, okay, how do you let go of all of these things that feel necessary, that are very comfortable, that are easy for you to do, and really focus on the 20% that's really driving revenue, that's pushing you to become better, right? That's stretching you out of your comfort zone. And I think when I first said it, they were looking at me like with daggers, like, no, absolutely not.
Do you know how long it took me to get here?
I had a lot of pushback, but oh my God, to hear now how they're like so glad that they took that leap and made that decision to do it. I mean, entire business models have changed, because this is what we found, that you cannot continue doing the same thing. It's almost like the new goal makes the old model obsolete. You can't continue to do business the way you were before. It shifts everything, myself included.
Because what got you here is not
It's
what's
not
going to get you there.
It is so
jinx.
right. And so that was it was hard at first for them to really swallow that. But when we just we dove all the way in, it's like, this is what we're doing. And everyone is on board. And, we do now these roadmaps for our clients. Not only, we don't just give them like, okay, this is your goal, go figure it out. It's like, no, let's put things in place for your daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly execution for you and your team to actually achieve that next level. Game changing.
I love that you added team.
Yes.
Because to go to the next level, you can't do it by yourself. And you have to be willing. Sometimes, in my case, I hired people and brought people in, and I was paying them more than I was paying myself in the beginning.
Absolutely.
Because I trusted, and I love supporting their economy.
Right.
You can only do that for you have to have a plan in place for evaluating that ROI in your business. And what are the KPIs? What does that look like for you?
Right.
But when you are ready to shift that conversation for your clients, what is the one thing you have them go do?
Well, interestingly, I have, we're blessed to have support staff that we can also lend to our clients, just to help them see what it looks like to have support with small things like managing their social, or, the things that they really ought not be spending their days doing. And so that in and of itself has been like, okay, I'm ready to go and hire one person. Or, a couple of them at first were like, okay, we're going to split an assistant, and whatever it took just to kind of get them started with it. And now I would dare say all but maybe one of our clients that have been with us for maybe the last 2 to 3 years have now hired team, where when we first started talking about it, it was a pipe dream. They could not even see that it was possible. But now they're scaling their business because they realize that, number one, they cannot get to that next level by themselves. And number two, they want to have that support. They want to be able, as women, we want to nurture, we want to be able to help others. And so now they get to pour back into, if you will, sow seeds into other families because of their work. And
I love that's a mic drop moment right there. Sow seeds into other families.
Oh my God. I'm not going to say her name because you guys will want to go hire her. She's the best. I have this one team member who I have the honor. I love that because we have a good sized client base, I get to refer her to all of my clients. And so her company has gone from, I wouldn't say struggling, but she was maybe 2 to 3 years, along in her business. Now she has multiple clients. And that came through our referral. And she's just so grateful, but she does excellent work for them, right? She does excellent work, but that's what I mean. We get it. We have a chance to bring on a team with the intention of being able to, when the clients are ready, to say, okay, you need to hire such and such to help you with this.
Wow.
And that's been great for their companies. It's been great for me. And it's been phenomenal for that young lady who now has amazing revenue coming into her company and into her family.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that you are so trusting in what God is gifting you and showing you and moving you forward with.
Absolutely.
Because that is not always easy.
Yeah.
And we think, is that really a nudge? Is that really a sign? Is that really where I'm supposed to be going next? Or I'm don't know that I can do it. But when you surround yourself in networking groups, and with clients too, how much fun is it to watch a client soar past where you're at?
Yes, God, yes.
That's for me, that's the wind beneath their wings.
Yes.
Let's do that. As we're climbing, let's lift others. And
Absolutely.
there was nothing, when I was heavily involved in a network marketing company, Tish, it was so exciting for me to watch other people soar and have success beyond what I had attained or reached, because that, I think, is also a true level of a leader, when it's not about me standing up in front of others.
Yeah.
It's about what happens when everyone around you is also rising
Yeah.
and beyond what they thought was possible.
There's a scripture in Joshua, and it basically says that you, talking to Joshua, you will be the one to take them into the land that I promised them. That scripture, when I first read it, I was so clear it was talking about not only, what it refers to in that particular time, but for the marketplace. It was so clear that it wasn't just for me to attain a level of success, but for me to help usher others into the land that belongs to them, the place that they ultimately belong, right? And thank God, that he's given me tools to be able to help them to get there. But that, for me, it's the best thing ever. It is the best thing ever. And yes, and I love not only watching them build their business and soar and become successful, but I love seeing them do business together. It makes my heart so happy to see that this person has hired this other person and they're doing work together or they're collaborating on something. It's the joy of my life watching that happen.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Well, I know that many people listening and watching want to know how to get in touch with you, and we'll put it in the show notes. But why don't you share with the audience the best way to do that and how to follow you?
So I am Tish Times on all socials, and my website is tishtimes.com, tishtimes.com. And I'd love to hear what you're taking away from our conversation today. So please reach out, and I'd love to chat with you guys.
Well, we will put that in the show notes. Thank you for sharing. Last question I always ask our guests. If you had a magic wand at the end of this year, looking back, what would you have accomplished that you're so proud of?
Oh my God. What we just said, I would, and I know Sandra for years has said this. She wanted to help 1 million women help make $1 million. I would love to see millionaires and beyond birthed out of our groups. People that have far surpassed their own desires, because the blessing is in them succeeding, it automatically blesses me. So I don't have to be concerned so much about my growth and all those things. Those are a byproduct of me helping others. So I want to see women be able to stand on stages, receive awards, have their business grow, be able to hire more people, and really see their business grow far beyond their wildest imagination.
That's beautiful, Tish. Well, I can't wait to cheers you. I hope at the end of this year we're able to get together, which I'm sure we will be, and celebrate our clients' success together.
Absolutely.
And if you would like to check out what your visibility says about you, and maybe even what your sales are saying about you out there, you can also go to visibilityquiz.com and get a really good reading on how you're showing up and how others are seeing you. Please leave in the comments and share this episode with others so that they can find Tish's amazing tips, learn about her community, join if possible, and listen to her podcast, which is called
The Sold Out Sales Podcast.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Bye for now. Thanks for tuning in to Be Visible with Veronica. If today's episode sparked something in you, share it, tag me, and pass it on. Your presence has power, and the world is better when you let it be seen. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and keep showing up as the unstoppable force you were born to be. I'll see you next time.